Good morning, everyone. My name's Joey. Josie over here playing this morning. This is Papa and Josie's homesteading. Appreciate you watching this morning. Now, you guys up north, this ain't funny no more. Y'all keep your weather up there. Yeah, it's got a little bit of snow late last night, early this morning. Still got a little bit of snow going on right now. Supposed to get 1 to 3 inches. Right now, we might have the 1. I don't know. It's melting. You can see like the driveway over here. It's melting off the driveway. The road don't hardly have anything on it over there, the county road. So it got warm enough the last 2 days, 3 days. I mean, we've been in the mid to upper 40s, almost 50 for 3 days. Now we got 3 days of almost 0 at nighttime. Monday, the high, tomorrow is Monday. I think the high is only supposed to be 18 or something like that. And then after that, it's back up in the 20s anyway. And no big warm up until it looks like the weekend. I told Greg last night it's supposed to be a wind chill to -10 today. Greg, I was wrong. It's tomorrow. It's actually not super bad out here this morning. I think it's hovering right around 30. So some of this snow was actually melting because there was a lot more snow on the ground when we first come outside. I was pulling Josie on the sled, and where I pulled her at the sled, it started melting under it. So some of it's melting. But I just want to take a little bit of time this morning. Tomorrow will be a week since we got our pork back from the processor. Move this wagon out of the way if I can. I got the truck in here and this wagon's kind of in the way. But we've pretty much tried almost everything. You know, see there's my freezer plus this chest freezer's full. But we have tried almost everything. I think there's some different roasts. We ain't went through all the different roasts and stuff, but we tried a roast, we tried the bacon, the ground pork, tried the sausage this morning, and the pork chops. So we tried everything. It's actually the first time I just moved it out of the way so I could open the freezer. I'm not going to do anything with the wagon. I just moved it out of the way. First time I've really tried Kunekune. And those Kunekunes that are up there are not pure Kunekune. The other pig that I had that's supposed to be Kunekune was that boar pig I got from that guy that I traded a load of firewood for it. When I got that meat back, it was all white meat. It was every bit white. I don't think that pig had any Kune in it whatsoever. All his herd Kunes had that red meat. Somebody's had a meltdown over here. Alright. Had to take a break. Somebody's had a meltdown because she couldn't get the wagon back in there where I pulled it from. Yeah. I say that these are the first Kunes that I've ever processed. I'd heard that meat was red. I heard it had a beef flavor to it. But I'd never tried it. So this is the first time I got to try it. So this is kind of my first time with anything that's Kunekune. Like I said, these were mixed Kunekunes. I'm positive those were not full Kunekunes. The two boars that was in there, their dad was, or the two barrows, they're not boars. The two barrows that we took were offspring from that boar that I took before. So they definitely were mixed. Sarah and Shelley, that guy that I got them from, swore up and down they were Kunekune. I'm still not positive that they were full Kunekunes. Possible, but I'm not positive. So those two barrows are mixed regardless. But my first thoughts on this Kunekune meat is, like I said, we tried the bacon. The bacon was the first thing we tried. And I like my stuff salty. It could have used some more salt, but as far as the taste, it tastes like bacon. It wasn't too fatty. I don't mind a little bit of fat on my bacon, so it wasn't too fatty. The next thing we tried was the ground pork. I fixed it with some hamburger helper, which I know is not good for you, but we do eat hamburger helper occasionally. I'd mix some in with some hamburger helper, which hamburger helper don't have a strong, seasoning to it. So the ground meat in it, you could tell that it was pork. But I think if you mix that with like taco seasoning or spaghetti or chili, stuff like that, you would never know that it was pork. Because it does have a beef taste to it. You can still tell it's pork, but it does have a beef taste to it. So the burger was good. I don't know if I want them. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to make just a plain old cheeseburger with it and try it. I don't know if it's gonna taste a whole lot like a regular hamburger, like a beef burger. But I will try it. I'm not sure how. It might be more porky tasting with doing it that way. The next thing we tried after that was the roast. Y'all tell by looking at the roast, they're red in color. When you cooked it, it did turn more white when we cooked it, which beef does too. I'm not gonna play with it right now. The roast come out really good. It did have a beef taste to it, and it turned out really good. I'm not adding no big seasoning, salt and pepper. That's all. Most time, that's all I put on anything, salt and pepper. But the roast turned out really good. All right. Sorry, I had to keep stopping. Somebody is on a roll this morning. She's over in the camper now. She's watching TV. But the next thing we had tried was the pork chops. And I took down 3 packs because everybody was home and I thought everybody was going to eat. And one pack had 5 in it, one had 3, and one had 4. Wound up, I just cooked the pack with 4 and 3 in it because Chastity and Chris, the youngest boy, had to leave. They were going to, he had something, I can't remember what it was now, but they had to leave. But they wound up, they did just grab a pork chop before they left and tried it. But the pork chop come out really good. Those that I cooked that time, I just fried them in a skillet, salt and pepper, that was it. And it was almost like eating a steak. Didn't taste like a pork chop at all. It wasn't quite hardly like tasted like a steak, but it didn't taste like a pork chop either. But it was really good. I cooked the next 5 the next day, kind of done like a leftover thing. I had some of the roast left over, and I ate some of the roast. And those pork chops, I mixed in salt and pepper and a little bit of steak seasoning stuff. I ain't even sure what it is. I couldn't tell you what it is. It's just a steak seasoning. And they come out excellent. Like I said, the pork chops, didn't get a whole lot of a lot of pork chops out of it, but they were really good. I think the next time I have a pig done, I will leave the bone in on those pork chops. I like the bone in myself anyway. I think that would just add a little bit more flavor to those. And this morning we tried sausage. I am not a big sausage person. The sausage I didn't care for, and that's probably just that processor. It just seemed like maybe it had too much sage in it for me. I'm not sure. It had a flavor in it that wasn't what I was used to anyway with sausage. And like I said, I'm not a big sausage person anyhow. It just had something, and I think it was the sage. I think it just had a little bit too much sage in it for me. Just had a. It's hard to even say what the flavor was. It was just a weird flavor for me. But Josie eat it, my wife eat it, and Chris eat it. Jaden, he was still in the bed. But I think Chris wound up eating like 4 pieces, of sausage biscuits. He really liked it. So that's pretty much everything we've tried. Like I said, the ribs is the only thing that I've got left to try that I haven't tried. And I'm not super big on ribs. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not super big on ribs. But we'll try them sometime eventually. But my overall thoughts on that Kunekune is, if I have a choice, I'll never do a regular pig again. The meat was totally different, and in a good way. I am sold on the Kunekune meat. It's, like I said, I know you can raise the other pigs faster, and we got those 2 pigs in the freezer over here, but that's only going to last. Somebody asked me this question the other day: how long can you keep it in the freezer? I was just looking it up. It says it's best to get it by 6 months, but it would last up to a year. But after that first 6 months, I guess it starts not being as good. I don't know if that means taste or just, I'm not sure. It says something to do with the fat starts breaking down or something other, and it starts going bad, I guess. But I'm gonna have a big gap in between once we get this eat and to when Bella had babies right now. I'm still a year and a half out from getting a pig ready to be processed, so I will have a gap. So I don't know. We'll probably just wind up with some store-bought meat and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely sold on the Kunekune meat. I will keep Gary and Bella. I may wind up, if I can still, if Bella has more babies and they sell as good as this last litter did, I may wind up getting another sow, maybe even another boar. I don't know. And raising a few more than what I am. But I am definitely going to start keeping Kunekunes just for the meat, for ourselves, because it was really good. I definitely am sold on way better than regular pig. It does take longer to grow them out. I don't know if it really costs any more, because they don't need a lot of feed. You don't have to give them a lot of feed. As long as you got grass and stuff for them to eat, you don't have to feed them a lot of extra feed as you would like a regular meat hog. But it definitely takes longer. So, but I think the meat's worth it for me. It really was a good meat. And I've told y'all this in other videos. The last couple of pigs that I've had slaughtered, nobody else in the house would eat them. Everybody in the house eat everything I've fixed so far. They didn't eat the whole lot of the roast. That's the reason I had roast left over. But they never eat a lot of roast. But Chastity did eat the roast. Chris and Jaden, neither one of them eat roast. They don't like roast. But when I do cook roast sometimes, and I'll just shred it apart, put it and make like a pulled pork, mix it with some barbecue, make barbecue sandwich, something else. They'll eat it that way, but they just won't eat it straight up roast. That's my thoughts on the pigs that we had slaughtered this time. Like I said, the Kunekune, the meat was really good, and I'll continue to keep Kunekune pigs for that meat. Like I said, it was really good. But that's my review on the pigs that we took to the processor. They're not for everybody. I know Bucks made comments. You can get the other pigs and you only have to keep them about 7 months and stuff like that. It is true, but that meat is better. Like I said, if you able to pick some up somewhere, I know there's a place here, probably about an hour from here, that actually sells Kunekune meat. Kind of like it ain't really a processor. It's just a couple that has Kunekunes, and they just make it. They made a business out of it, but they sell Kunekune meat. If you can find somewhere like that and buy some there and try it, I suggest that you do, because it's different. It's definitely different, and a lot easier. Like I said, it kind of has that beef taste to it. But definitely would be easier to have one of those and have it processed and not getting overloaded with meat like you would if you had a steer or something that you took off. I would try it. Anyway, enough rambling on. Just a quick review of our Kunekune pigs and what I thought of it. And like I said, the whole family liked it. The sausage was the only thing for me, but everybody else liked it. So I'm not a big sausage person, so I'm assuming the sausage was probably okay too, I guess. I'm just not big on sausage. But that's my take on the meat that we got back. We'll cut this video off. I don't know how much videos I'll get this coming week because, like I said, we got 3 days of some really, really super cold weather, so I don't know if I'll have Josie out in this very much. You're talking teens, wind chills. The wind chill for in the morning is supposed to be -10. That's why I told Greg yesterday. I thought it was this morning, but it's tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be -10. I'm not going to have her out. She won't stay in the house. If I go outside, if I don't tell her I'm just going outside to the woodshed to get wood in or something like that, she won't stay in the house. So I'm not going to have her out. We'll come out and feed. I'll probably use the truck, put her in the truck, and do that. So I don't know how much video we'll get done this week, just because it's going to be so cold. Y'all tell all that thawing and freezing, man. If y'all seen that short, this is the muddiest that it's been probably since about 2015 or 2016. When we first moved down here, it got super muddy like this because we had some big snows and had a whole lot of freeze and thaw cycles that we went through. It's super muddy right now. The driveway is like spongy. It's a mess. It's a mess. But we'll wrap it up for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Try the Kunekune. Just like I said, if y'all find somewhere where you can just go buy a pack of pork chops or something, try it and see what you think. But I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.